How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What's going on, everybody? I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. I'm here to talk to you about Kimball's Cookies. They've been our sponsor since the beginning, and we truly love them. They make custom cookies for every special occasion or holiday that you can think of. So order today, and you can order in sugar cookie, you can order chocolate. They have gluten-free options. They take care of you, and they're designed with love. I can tell you that for a fact. So check out Kimball's Cookies on Facebook, and when you order, use promo code SNOBS, and they'll give you 10% off your order. Thanks. What's up, everybody? It's the Scene Snob. I'm Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to talk to you guys about our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. They are the premier tool for your grooming downstairs. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? You're in luck. Our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0 is here. Complement your summer bod with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining, call your name, guys. Join the 2 million men who trust Manscaped worldwide, including myself and all of the hosts here, and get ready for Hot Guy Summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SNOBS, S-N-O-B-S, and they'll get 20% off and free shipping. So go check out Manscaped now. They have amazing stuff like the 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Shaver, and all of their deodorizers and everything else are truly, truly amazing. I wear their underwear. I think it's just fantastic. But don't take my word for it. Go check them out yourselves because they have plenty of stuff for everybody. So go to manscaped.com and tell them the Scene Snob sent you by using promo code SNOBS. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Welcome to the Scene Snob Podcast. I'm Scene Snob Jr. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome, everybody, to Scene Snob Interviews. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, and today I am joined very much by the top of the heap in Hollywood, Miss Suzanne DeLaurentiis. Thank you for joining us today, Suzanne.
Hi.
It's so exciting to talk to you. First, I would like to say producing and talking to producers is something I'm so interested in. You know, I've tried my hand in it with, producing in the past and such, and it's just like the unsung heroes on set, in my opinion.
It's very stressful.
For sure. And I always tell my wife and friends, when watching award shows and such, I'm like, there's a reason the producers are getting the best pictures.
Oh.
They deserve it with everything that they have to put into it. So, it's such a blast to talk to you, to have you on and talk to you. It's just completely awesome.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And, I'm so excited because I did catch the first episode of your show, Suzanne Saturday Night Scares, and I am excited because I love horror hosts. I love horror movies. Definitely into it. And you showed me Sisters of Death, which I had never seen before and I didn't know. So I was very excited to see that. So, before I really want to get into the show, and I also want to talk about Very Frightening Tales and such, but if we can, I'd like to start from the beginning, if that works.
Sure.
You've produced some really, truly awesome movies. You worked on Rocky V, 10th and Wolf. I love that movie.
Me too. My favorite. I think out of all the movies in my career, 10th and Wolf was very close to my heart and definitely my favorite movie.
It really is such a good movie and so well acted and just everything about it. And I that's a DVD I've loaned out plenty of times to say, hey, you should check this movie out. But like Derailed, Area 407 was great. I know
it's funny you mentioned Derailed in 407 because the director and writer is actually here with me in the room.
That's awesome.
He helped me set us up today.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that is fantastic. So with those movies, and obviously you guys are still friends, and that's terrific to hear. So what is how did you get into producing? I know you're an actor as well, but producing, what kind of led you into that?
I was a singer and an actress and a dancer, did a lot of on and off Broadway in the 70s. My first cousin was actually Frankie Avalon, and I was very close to him. My other cousin was Dino DeLaurentiis, the filmmaker, infamous producer. Mm-hmm. So I spent a lot of time in front of the camera in the late 60s and 70s. And then in the early 80s, I kind of wanted to take a little more control over my fate. As you know, it's very hard for women in this business just to be in front of the camera full time. It's extremely competitive. And I just felt like I needed to be a little more involved in the industry as opposed to just being in front of the camera. So I started writing and, collaborating with other people. And then I got really lucky with an investor in the early 80s. And he gave me a few bucks and I made a movie called Mutant Man. It was a horror film where I wrote, produced, directed, did the craft services. I did everything.
Nice.
And the little movie was a success for me. It made money. I paid my investors back, and then I reinvested in my company. And then from there on, it was just one movie after another.
Oh, well, now I know I have to go check out Mutant Man.
Yeah!
I got to see it now. I'm a horror fan. True.
It's kind of if you're a horror fan, you'll get a kick out of it. It's somewhat of a, how should I say, kind of like a Attack of the Killer Tomatoes sort of kind of thing. But yeah, those films were really popular in the early 80s. So that was kind of my launch into producing and directing, and then it just kind of snowballed into another movie and another movie and another movie. And oddly enough, in the last year, Dale Fabricard, my director, we have been so busy in the last year doing one horror film after another. So.
And so now with horror and, the shows and, the movies that you've done, what draws you to horror? I mean, I know having Dino being your cousin is, that's a big, horror connection. Yeah. But for you, what draws you to those stories?
That's a good question. I've also done dramas and comedies and musicals. I've even done a Christmas movie. I've pretty much done a little bit of everything, but I think horror was more close to my heart. Where are you from? Are you originally?
Well, originally, actually, it's funny. We're both from New Jersey. I'm from Jersey City.
You're kidding? Okay. Well, then you're probably a lot younger than me. But there was a show called Dr. Shock that was out of Philadelphia.
I remember Dr. Shock.
That and Dark Shadows in the 60s. Oh, my God, forget about it. I would run home from school every day to catch Dark Shadows at 3 p.m. And then I would get up early on Saturday mornings to watch Dr. Shock at 9 a.m. So, the 60s for me were big horror stuff that I was, so addicted to do and couldn't wait to see it. So I think that sort of got me into the horror realm.
I'm so happy to hear that, especially with Suzanne Saturday Night Scares, because I love horror hosts. I know Dr. Shock, Zachary was a big one. And they did, when I was a kid, they were all reruns, but, they did the Saturday night. You got to see them.
Right,
so it was such a big event. And then Joe Bob came in with his drive-in and Monster Vision. So, and then they went away for too long. Mm-hmm. And there's like a generation now just kind of refinding what horror hosts were. Right. And I love it. That's why when I saw that, I was like, yes. And your publicist had sent me the episode, but then I saw it was on Amazon. I'm like, well, I'm going to go, put it out there so we can definitely get more. And I have not watched the second episode yet, but I am definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, you'll love Messiah of Evil. It's really good.
Yeah, and I plan to. Again, I'm one of those guys who's like, all right, got to watch this on a Saturday night because that's when you did this stuff.
Right.
So I am definitely excited for that. And your interview with Morgan Fairchild was fantastic.
Oh, she was so awesome and so much fun. And, that was all during COVID. So we couldn't actually. I had Morgan Fairchild on the first episode, and then Laura Parker from Dark Shadows is on the second episode.
Oh, nice.
And unfortunately, they wouldn't come into the studio because of COVID, and we couldn't go to them because of COVID. So Dale, the director, and I were trying to figure out what to do. So he just said, let's just interview them over Zoom and we'll put them in the crystal ball or we'll put them in the mirror. So
I love that. I love the mirror effect because I figured it was because of COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, you turn something a negative into a positive, and it was so fun, and it adds to, of course, the element. So fantastic job, thank you. As a horror fan, to watch stuff like that, because it adds those layers of like you care, you want to add the ambience to what you're doing, and so I enjoyed it. And how was it talking to Laura Parker? I haven't seen the interview yet, but I mean, to be a fan of Dark Shadows and have her on the show.
Oh, I was totally enamored with her. When our casting director, Craig Capombasso, called me and said, "Oh my gosh, guess what? I got Laura Parker." I was just thrilled because, again, I was a huge fan of Dark Shadows and a huge fan of hers and her story. And I don't want to spoil it, but her story was just fascinating about how she got that role. It was the first thing really she had ever auditioned for, and it made her a star, and just all the craziness about shooting it. And, it was really, the show was really ahead of its time. There was really nothing else like it. And there really hasn't been anything else like it since then. So.
No, yeah, I that's one thing that I always loved. And I remember when I brought it back in the 90s, it wasn't the same. For me, but it was very good. And I'm glad they brought back the cast and continued the storylines. But for me, like a show like that, where you had the monsters and you had the Addams Family and such, which was comedic. And don't get me wrong, I love them. I've never heard of them. But now to have a dramatic turn with the supernatural, for the 60s, that's such a odd time to have something like that. But it was so well done.
And it was so scary too. Oh my God. For the 60s, having, vampires biting people's necks and blood and, stabbing people in the heart with stakes. It was a big deal for them. Like I said, it was, most kids in my neighborhood weren't allowed to watch it, but I was really lucky. My parents, they were okay about me watching it, but yeah.
Yeah, especially for content like that in the movies at that time, which mostly drive-in movies.
Yes.
So to see it on TV, but it was such a hit too.
Huge. Oh, huge. Yeah.
So and you have again when we talk about 10th and Wolf, you've done so many genres, and you're with horror right now. Another show that I'm very much looking forward to. We've had Madison Extern on the show.
Yes. Yes, that's going to be on Amazon really soon.
Yes. Okay. Great. I can't wait. I definitely because I remember talking to her about it. And Michael Paré is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Me too. Yeah, we work with him a lot. He's actually starring in a movie that we're in post production for now called "It Crawls Beneath."
Oh, he was on our show a couple months ago, and he was kind of talking about that. He didn't give any details, I promise. But he was talking about projects he had coming up, and. I talked to him a little bit about Very Frightening Tales because Madison had talked about it, and I was like, I'm so in. I cannot wait because I love, we're talking about horror and not just movies, but having horror TV and seeing such a big surge come up where there's a normalcy to it.
Right.
It's so great to see things like that. So I'm very much looking forward to that show as well.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's really scary.
I cannot wait. And did Dale direct that as well? Yep.
And actually and we just wrapped on another horror film called Reed's Point about the Jersey Devil. Yes! Yay! And Madison is actually in that one too.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, I will 100% be there. I used to camp down at the Pine Barrens. So
well, I mean, we did, we cheated in LA, but yeah.
I fully understand, and you know what? You have to. But you're telling the story about Jersey Devil, which is something I'll tell friends because I live in Virginia now.
Yeah.
You haven't heard anything about the Jersey Devil? Wait.
Oh, yeah. It's really, I have to say, the monster suits for this movie are really, I don't want to give away too much. But anyway, it's going to be really scary. Really fun.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. And thank you for, doing that because, again, there's not enough about the Jersey Devil out there, in my opinion. So that's awesome, though. And, now, kind of I want to get off horror for a second and kind of talk about other genres and such that you enjoy performing in and also producing and maybe writing too from your standpoint. What are some that maybe you haven't touched on that you would like to touch on or you have and really would like to get back into?
Well, I'll tell you, we're just coming out of our development period, and we're in pre-production now for a feature about the 1911 shirtwaist factory fire in Manhattan that killed 140 young women.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really excited. It's a biopic. Stephen Revell wrote it, who did Nixon and Ali. We've got a great director, Rule Renee, attached. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's called Triangle Fire. That's the next big thing that we're working on, a bio piece.
That's fantastic. So what goes into, like, with doing a biopic like that, and what for you, and, you know, as a producer, and did you write as well, or is Dale producing?
Yeah, Dale's involved with the project, but I actually, in the beginning, wrote it with Everett Whalen, who, and Everett wrote 407 with us, and he's worked on quite a few other things. And he and I came up with the outline, and then Regina Lyons was another producer that came on board with us that helped with the early writing. And then from there, we took it to Stephen Revell, and then Steve came up with the first draft. Then we had Tricia Aryuran, who came in and did some additional writing. So it was really a collaboration of a team. And
I love that, and I love hearing collaborate. And again, with a biopic, I'm sure you know, this is such a tragedy. You want to get things right, of course.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the great thing about having Stephen Revell as the writer, as the head writer, because he's had success with so many biopics, and that's his specialty. So we're really excited. I'm hoping to be filming sometime next year now that hopefully the COVID is, you know, hopefully on its way out.
Yeah, and how are you doing with all that? You know, everything going on. I know it's, for us here, it's been just, of course, it's 2020. That's what I chalk it up to at this point. 2020.
You know, it was a challenge. We did continue to work and film through through some of the COVID. We just were very strict with our regulations. We kept our crews small. We stuck to social distancing. Everybody wore masks. So, you know, we kind of powered through it. I mean, obviously we had to do smaller things, but, you know, at least we continued to work.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's good to hear. And, you know, it's so tough on everybody, and especially in the industry. And, you know, it's great to see things opening back up. The theater's back open. You know, it's just truly wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling after all of that to feel like things are just kind of going forward. And with your philanthropy work, I mean, you thank you for all you've done, especially for veterans.
Yes, that's my passion. I have an organization at my company called Operation Hollywood, and we train wounded veterans and some disabled veterans to work on film sets. We actually were presented with a civilian medal from the military for our philanthropy. So veterans are very dear to my heart. I joined the USO in the mid to late 70s, towards the end of Vietnam. So actually in Jersey, out of Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base. So
oh, wow, nice.
Very dear to my heart. Yeah,
that's fantastic, and so much great work. And you know, when did Operation Hollywood come into play? Like, when did you create? And
it's been close to 20 years now that we've had the program. Almost 20 years.
That's fantastic. And that's, you know, 20 years, and that's something that even back then, even that far back, you know, not a lot was being done for veterans. And so you stepping up like that is truly amazing. And to bring them into an artistic, entertainment industry like this is it's amazing. I was reading up on it some. Yeah,
I think the Vietnam vets really had it tough. So, you know, it's, again, I still have Vietnam vets on my crew. I have a couple guys that are Vietnam vets on my crew.
That's wonderful. And so with something like that, is it something that people can give to? Like, if I put up the website, can they go and donate and to help out in any way? Or,
well, you know what they can do? We do an event every year to benefit veterans. We usually have it around the Oscars. We just finished one. We were so lucky to be able to do it just towards the tail end of COVID. So every year we do an event. Like I said, it can be around the Emmys, around the Oscars. We have a big gifting suite, and we give out awards to veterans. It's a black tie event, so to raise awareness for them. So we do that every year. So when we get close to another one, I'll let you know. And if you want to buy tickets and come or be a part of it, that would be great.
That would be wonderful. Absolutely. Happy to help in any way that we can, for sure. So, you know, with, you know, everything going on, you have a lot in production getting ready right now with pre-production, and I cannot wait for Reed's Point. How do you keep up with so many projects as a producer, and also just on all, wearing all hats? How do all of you just kind of, I guess, buckle down and it's like, okay, I have this in post-production, I have this in pre-production. Where did you kind of change the mode and everything?
Well, I'll tell you the secret to my success of that. I don't have children. I'm single, and I don't sleep very often.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. With especially the no sleep, I get that. But it's because of the children I don't sleep, so I don't get anything done. No, but that's fantastic. And so with Triangle coming out, Triangle Fire coming out, and Reed's Point, and the one I wanted to ask was The Cop Who Would Be King. I was kind of reading up on it, and I was interested to hear more about it if you can tell us.
I really can't say too much now. That's still in the early development stages. But Steve Revell did write the script as well. So I'm excited for that. I'm an EP on that, and we should be hearing more about that hopefully in the next year.
Oh, that's so awesome. So thank you so much for all the entertainment. I mean, it's so important, I think, to thank the people who put this together. The crews and everybody else.
Yeah. I've got believe me, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the people that surround me. You have to have a great team, and that's the key to success, is having a great team and having great vendors and people that really support you.
Yeah, 100% agree. And right now, so Suzanne's Saturday Night Scares is available on Amazon. I know that. Is it available anywhere else?
Apple TV, and it's also going to be going up on quite a few other platforms in the next 2 months.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And I cannot wait for more episodes. I'm going to watch the second one this week. And I cannot wait for Very Frightening Tales as well. That's my jam. I love it. But yeah, is there anything else you'd love to promote?
No, I think I've pretty much covered it, but thank you so much for having me on the show, and hopefully I get to see you again in the future.
Yes. Thank you, Suzanne. If you ever have anything you'd like to promote, please reach out. We're happy to help you in any way we can.
I will. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening or watching, wherever you're checking it out. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Manscaped. Go check them out. They are saving our balls, and they can save yours too, or somebody you care about. It's a pretty awesome device, so go check out what they got, the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, and more. It's a great gift for Father's Day, birthdays, weddings, anything. So yeah, head over there and use promo code SNOBS, SNOBS, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Also, we'd like to thank our super fan patrons. They are all Scene Snob family to us. They support us every month, and you can be one too. So head over to the Patreon channel, the Scene Snobs, and it's $5 a month, and you can join in with helping support us and get the free perks too. Also, you can follow us on social media. We are on everything at the Scene Snobs, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are on Facebook, the Scene Snobs. Everywhere. We have fun stuff always going on, always have contests and stuff, so go follow us, check us out. You can go to our link tree by going to thescenesnobs.com. There's our link tree, there's our Patreon, there is all of our shows and the links for all of that, so thanks again for checking it out. Just head over to thescenesnobs.com where everything is, and we will talk to you soon.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.